Hello, Pitch Grounders. How's everything going? I hope you're having an amazing day over here. If you're joining in from Asia, then if you're joining in from other countries, then I hope you're having an amazing evening. My name is Minank. I'm the head of marketing at Pitch Ground. And in today's webinar, we're going to talk about a really interesting tool that, for the first time ever at Pitch Ground, we're launching an enterprise level tool of this sort. That's right. This is for the very first time ever. When I saw this deal for the very first time, I was like, whoa, what are we even launching? Because this tool is amazing at what it does. And it's so powerful that we are not letting you have a free trial. I know, sorry for that. Truly sorry for that. But we are doing something better. You can schedule a one-on-one demo call with the founder. And we're going to invite the founder of this tool. And the whole team of this tool is already here with me in the background. So what is this tool? This tool is called GETSecured. It's a tool that detects security vulnerabilities. That's right, on your website and on your server as well. That is, if you're using AWS. It's useful if you're like an agency owner who offers security services to others. If you're like a security researcher, it's of course useful to you, and also useful if you are a SaaS product owner. That's right. If your own software might be infected by hackers, you might have some vulnerabilities that you want to patch, and that's why you need GetSecured to secure your software. So it helps you with finding breached data. It helps you find security threats. It helps you also to find employee who are at a risk of privacy exposure, and also the various compliance gaps, including ISO 27001, SOC-II, and GDPR. So what are we waiting for? I see some many people that are joining in right now. Where are you guys joining in from? Tell me in the comment section down below. And I would like to say I'm joining in from India. Where are you guys joining in from? Tell me in the comment section down below. In the meantime, let me invite Val, who's going to explain this tool. And we also have the founders of this tool who will talk to us about this and show us live demo of this tool and how it works in real time. Get ready to see this, guys.
Is still growing and evolving, and this requires the enforcement of security measures. What's going on, guys? This is Val from PitchGround. Cybercrime has increased by 600% due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Remote work has dramatically increased the average cost of a data breach. Employees do not have the same level of security at home as they would working in the office, which makes them easy targets for cyber attacks. John Chambers, CEO of Cisco, says there are two types of companies: those who have been hacked and those who don't yet know they have been hacked. Cybercriminals do not just target large enterprise organizations, but small businesses as well. Despite the size of your organization, if you have valuable information, there will be hackers looking to steal it. 43% of cyber attacks target small businesses. PitchGround brings you a lifetime deal for GetSecured, a platform used by companies worldwide to scan their assets for vulnerabilities which might be exploited by attackers to extract sensitive data. GetSecured can be used to monitor web applications, S3 buckets, Git repositories, websites, and many more. If you want to learn more about GetSecured, do check out our use case video.
If you want to learn more about GetSecured, you have tuned in at the right place. That's what this is. And I would like to welcome Nikhil from Team GetSecured, and also Tamagna, who is the founder of uh, GetSecured. So, hi, how are you guys doing?
Hey, we are good.
Yeah, hi Vinay. Good, we're good. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what do we have here for today? Because I see many people are joining in right now, tuning to see a glimpse of the software. We have stopped the trial for this. That's too bad. But what? So, what are we going to do today?
Sure. So what I'm going to do is, probably, I will quickly talk about, a little bit about our little background, what we do and why we have built this solution. There's a background story, a little bit, and then
Yes.
we directly dive into the product, and which Nikhil will walk us through the entire product and what are the various features and functionalities are there. And
Perfect. Perfect.
we'll be happy to take on questions at the end.
Yes, guys, please keep your questions coming in because we'll be happy to take all the questions in the end. We have a dedicated Q&A session for this software. So, Taman, you can share your screen. So, why we are trying to first let you know about the founding team and etc. about this product is because this is a security tool, and
Mhm.
you need to trust your security with the right hands, right? And that's why it's important that many of you users have already asked us to tag us, who's the founder, what's the behind the scenes of the product, who are they, why should we trust this product, etc. And we're going to answer every single question of it here. So please stay tuned, and if you stay tuned till the end, we have a surprise for you for the one lucky winner that's going to win. So you can share your screen. It's like a laptop with an arrow
Yes,
button inside it.
yes. I'm just gonna share my screen.
Sure. In the meantime, guys,
Sorry, sir. Please, just
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
sure. Awesome,
speak.
awesome. So I see Brandon, who's been joining here from the US. Brandon, you're amazing. You're so active. If you stay till the end, I hope you win. That's all I can say. And yes, we can see your screen right and now. And the stage is all yours. Over to you.
Great. Thank you so much. As I said, I don't want to bore you too much about the intro, but then just to give you set to an expectation what we do and who are we, I think that's very important because, as I said, I mean, like said, security has to be dealt with the right set of people also. Uh, so a brief about me as a founder. Obviously, I've been in the industry for quite some time. It's been almost a more than almost 2 decades gonna be. Worked in large enterprises, various places purely looking after security. And then obviously this entrepreneurship bug has bitten me, and it's been 7 years running my own company. I have started another company which is still live and kicking, and this is the second company which I've started and where we're trying to solve the problem of cybersecurity. Right. I'm pretty active in social media. You can reach out to us, and obviously I have Nikhil with me. He's also a very well-known figure in the cybersecurity industry. He's an international speaker in various large conferences, and train people. Both of us have actually trained a lot of people in the industry in terms of security as well. So our overall vision was obviously to help companies to protect their data and their organization. So a story and how it all started, and it's kind of a little funny, is a couple of months back. I've been actually contemplating of what is next challenge. Like obviously, I built one company, it's been going on, and then was really looking for another challenge. What is the next big thing? I should look and spend my energy into, and what happened is, and in one fine day, I suddenly realized that there's one company which is a B2C company had a huge data breach. Millions of records has been breached, and unfortunately, obviously, I was one of their user, and my data also got breached. So that made me really think, why it is like that, right? Because so companies already have security people, a lot of folks are already working. That why still this kind of problem is happening. So then what I did, I started exploring it further. I reached out to various CXO friends, CEOs and CTOs of the industry, and there are multiple different reasons it came up as a reason behind this. And they were saying that, look, the problem is we have so many tools, so many products we're using, but still we don't know how secure is my company, right? We don't know that is there in data breached or leak. We are actually working on protecting our server, but it always there is a fear factor that is my data is actually breached or leaked or not. How do I know about that? How secure is probably the kind of infra I'm trusting my enter server with third party vendor, which is nothing but cloud infra, and are they secure or not, or am I actually configuring it in a right manner or not, right? It may be the platform is secure, probably I don't know how to securely configure that, right? And overall, obviously, I feel that there is a misconception that security is a very costly affair. I have a very limited budget. Can I really patch all this kind of possible problem with the limited budget we have? So that made me think that in a way that can we do it in a way where we actually help you to at least do a baseline, and a kind of a security, and that won't cost you too much, right? Because obviously, once you have a lot of money, you have a lot of options. But in the beginning, when you're starting or even in a growth stage, you definitely are dealing with a lot of sensitive data. It could be your employee data, it could be your customer data, it could be your client's data also. And a lot of time you don't know, but you're signing some agreements when you're actually probably agencies, right? That you are supposed to protect those data, and probably due to lack of knowledge or understanding, you're not doing the right due diligence to that, right? So how can you help you to protect those data with a very limited budget, At the same time, I'm giving you enough security which could be probably sufficient for you to get the basic understanding of security on your own, and as well as it will help you to secure your data. And we see huge rise of this kind of incidents during the pandemic. A lot of attacks and was happening. And why I'm putting this, actually, there's a very interesting thing happened. There's a paradigm shift happened in terms of hackers targeting smaller companies. Earlier, the conception was, I'm too small to be hacked. I'm too small. Nobody knows about me. But that thing is changing now. People actually, and we have been seeing a trends where companies, or probably I'll say malicious hackers or attackers, were going after soft targets, which is basically, even if you're a small company, probably 10-member team, 20-member team, but probably you're dealing with sensitive data, you are still a target. Probably a lot of educational edtech companies, educational institutes have poor security management. That is also the target. So in a nutshell, what we have seen is security is not a big boys game as of now. Even if you are a smaller entity, you are probably a one-person company, but you are dealing with a lot of sensitive data. There is a high possibility that you might get attacked, and which you don't know. So with this intention, what we try to build is a tool, a product, which will actually help you to build a security first mindset. That is our perception, that how can you can we make you as the person, as a founder, as a decision maker of the company, have a sense of security, and with less time spent, less energy spent, because obviously you don't have too much time to go to a workshop and learn security and all these things. And once you know security, is it possible to align that with your revenue potential? Because if you consider security as a cost center, it will never work out. Right? You'll always think of this as a burden. But if there is a way, possibility of aligning this with your probably a possibility of making more revenue potential, why not? Right? That would be a brilliant opportunity. So with this thought, we created this tool, GETSecured. And as I said, the idea is how can we simplify security for end users? When I say end user is a decision maker of a company who is actually, dealing with a lot of sensitive data. So you don't need to know enough of security knowledge. You can still find this tool very, easy to use. Experience is simple. It actually solve to give you a very convenient way all the data which you require to protect, and you look into those data and actually immediately take actions to mitigate all possible vulnerabilities, and and all the severity and vulnerability you have on your product. So with
That's good.
this, I will stop here.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's good. So, adding to that, a user has actually asked a similar question, saying
Mm-hmm.
that the general question I have from the beginning is how easy it is for a non security expert to interpret scan reports and
Mm-hmm.
express vulnerabilities to clients. Any
Yes.
resources for me to learn the ins and outs of port scanning slash pen
Mm-hmm.
testing?
Mm-hmm. So there is another problem I've seen, Meenank, being in the industry for decades, right? So problem is, unfortunately, security was a little complicated. The tools, existing tool you have, which you try to use, the jargons it uses, the terminology it uses, it actually at times, looks very confusing. So as I said, our intention was to improve the experience, make it very easily understandable. So the way I'm trying to do is we are solving three problems here. One is it has to be comprehensive, so that overall holistic overview of your security you can see in one single place. Um, in terms of is it data breach is happening, is it your cloud infra is vulnerable, is it your website is vulnerable, or probably from a compliance point of view, is there any problem? Depending on which level of your organization, these three or four category, or maybe all four categories relevant for you. But the idea is, make it comprehensive so that you can get an understanding of all the different levels. And second is it has to be consolidated. You don't have to go to tool one to get one option data, tool two get to another option. So how can you consolidate, make it like a one-stop solution for you? And third is obviously the storytelling problem, where you actually make it simple so that it is easy for you to understand and also to explain to probably your potential customers or your clients, if you are an agency.
Love it, love it, love it. Let's proceed further. Brandon, I
Yes.
hope that answers your question. We're going to show it to you. So you're going
Uh,
to see this. Yeah.
yes. So I think I'll hand it over to Nikhil now. So what Nikhil will do, Nikhil will walk you through the demo, and yeah, I think from there we'll take it forward if you have more questions. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Nikhil, you can share your screen and you can walk
Yeah.
us through the demo. And guys, anytime you have any question, feel free to ask it because you might only see Nikhil and Tamagna here on the screen, but there are at least five people behind the scene who are ready to answer every single question that you got. So feel free to ask all your questions because I know security sometimes can be tough to understand if you're like a special new person, if you're like a business owner, etc. And that's why we have any question, even if it's a dumb question, there are no dumb questions first of all here, so please ask them here. We would love to answer every single question you got. And Nikhil, over to you because we can see your screen right now.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the confirmation. So that was a quite good introduction to product. Now let's see how you can use it to scan for different security vulnerabilities, what features it provides, and how easy is it to use those features. Coming from a non-technical or non-security background, how easy or how difficult is it to use these features? So this is our dashboard. Uh, when you sign up to the tool and use our magic link based login, you will end up in this dashboard. So we do not have any password based login, so you don't have to worry about losing or getting breached of those passwords. So uh, you enter your login email and you will get a link. You click on that link and you will be on the dashboard. So
Yes,
here on
yes.
the yeah
No passwords, guys, no passwords. Just enter your email.
yeah
You will get a code and or to your email, and then you can log in from that code. That's what this is. Yeah.
yeah thanks. So here on the top right corner, you can see what plan you have signed up for, your name, and how many scans are pending. So for this plan, we have 20 monthly scans and only 6 are completed. We have 14 scan credits remaining. So we'll come back to this dashboard and see what it represents. But before that, we'll go and look at each and every scan and see what are the outputs of those scans. So first we have this asset discovery scan. It's to give you a more of an outsider perspective of your organization. So the first stage into any attack strategy is recon. So when a recon happens or when an attacker is trying to do some reconnaissance, attacker tries to look for different subdomains that your website has hosted on, and what ports are running for all the servers that are publicly exposed, what technologies are running by in the background of your uh, application so that can be exploited. So this is a general mindset of any attacker. Now, to get an idea of how your organization looks from outside, this is why we have this asset discovery scan. So to launch this scan, you just click on launch new scan button and you enter your domain. So let's say GETSecured.ai, and I can select different types of scans, and we have to authorize that you are the actual owner of this domain and you have permission to scan this domain, because it's not legal to scan any other website just without permission.
So, guys, don't scan your competitors, all right? It's only for your
Yeah.
website, your own clients. That's what this is. And it's better if you get a permission from your clients. That's what this is. And if it's your own site, you're free to do. But do not use this scan on a competitor's website. You want to make it stated like written over here. I was watching this. I've already told in
Yeah.
every single post I've made, every answer we've done. So, yes, do not scan your competitors. It's for your own good, it's for your own sites and your client sites only.
Yes. So you just click on launch scan, and yeah, so your scan will be initiated. You can see that scan is in progress. Once the scan is complete, you will be able to see different numbers here. Let's not wait for the scan to complete. It takes few minutes to complete. We'll just open our previous scan. So if I open this scan, you will be seen with 4 different scan types, which are web assets, employee asset, phishing domains, and breach data. So under web assets, we have a list of all your subdomains, which has been discovered, what IPs those subdomains are currently running on, what server that subdomain is hosted on, different technologies used by subdomain. Let's say this subdomain or this website is using WordPress, MySQL, PHP, and Salesforce. It has these many number of ports open, which is not a good idea since you are using very few technologies, and not all those ports needs to be open to the public. So this is, if I am an attacker, I would be targeting one of these ports to enter into the server. On the right hand side, you have a domain details page, which is for your base domain, the domain that you have entered. So this is about getting an overview of what are your web assets that are publicly exposed. This may not be a direct threat, but it's good to have an understanding of uh, how your company looks like from a outsider perspective in digital world.
So just to
Uh,
add to that, what exactly from attacker you need to understand, how probably an attacker, approaches to a company, right? So a lot of times companies what they do, their base domain. When they say base domain, that which is basically your, let's say, your Microsoft.com, right? It's always, that is most secure domain, and 80% of your focus is on protecting your base domain. But a lot of time happens, you launch some subdomain, probably some campaign launch, probably, let's say, one incident I remember, there's a marathon happened on a company and they launched a subdomain, say marathon dot subdomain.com, and they forgot to close that domain after that camp or that event was over, and that is actually lying there undetected with legacy libraries, legacy technology. And tomorrow if there is a zero day comes, obviously as an attacker we go after those kind of domains. So you first try to see what are the other subdomains there running legacy applications, and what are the ports open there, and see can I actually use that as a entry point into your company, right? So it is very important to patch your other domains other than the main domain. And unfortunately, a lot of time in large companies, people don't know that how much of your big assets are exposed. So this will help you to understand. That's why it's called asset inventory, or we call it web assets, where you get a holistic overview of how many total digital assets you own as a company, and you can see that how much of that is exposed. Yeah, Nikhil, over to you.
yeah, absolutely. So thanks for adding those things. Okay, so going to next scan, which is a very interesting scan. So here we'll detect all the employee assets that are publicly available or exposed, such as your employee's email address and passwords. So if these are exposed in different breaches, so you might have been looking at different news every day that some companies' email IDs and passwords are breached, some records are breached from some other company, some attacker has shared something on dark web. So this is what we are looking at here. So we'll monitor those breaches and identify if any of your email address is breached. So you can see that here 5 of these email addresses are breached. We tag it as pond, and if I click on any of these, it will show you the date at which it was pond with the name of that breach, what hackers used to call that breach, and what are the details that were exposed. So from this you can understand that okay, my password was exposed in 2020, maybe it's a good idea to go ahead and change my password. And you'll get the understanding of your all of your employees how their passwords are doing. So uh, once you have that understanding, you can actually approach and encourage people to know more about general security, and get them aware about these security issues. So this is about employee assets. Then these are some potential phishing domains. So if let's say an attacker wants to perform a phishing attack, what the attacker will do is he or she will purchase a domain which looks similar to your domain. So for example, this domain name where we have your domain and O is replaced with 0, right? So if you're not that uh, so these kind of domains can be helpful to fool someone, or if you just send a link, maybe they are not looking at the link, they'll click on the link, and yeah, this is how I get some internal information. So this is about phishing, potential phishing domains. So some of these domains may not be actual phishing domains, but they can actually be used to perform phishing attacks against your own domain name.
Guys, look at how important that is. If you're a bank, that is, and we
Yeah.
always see that banks are the potential target, especially for phishing. And This is such level of a tool where you're getting where it's enable all sorts of options like this, and insane. I didn't know about the phishing option before. I think you added it. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it is. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Then the last section is breach data, where we mostly look for source code breaches with different keywords. So let's say we are looking for your domain API key, and we have detected at some GitHub repository some code has been leaked and it has some API key. So we'll look for usernames, passwords, and most commonly used different services. We have a huge dictionary of keywords where, and we use that to leverage that to identify different breaches that has been happened for your source code. So this is again could be an intellectual property of company, and if it has some sensitive information can be used against the company by attacker to get inside. So now the best thing is that all of these four scans will be counted as four scans. When you launch a scan, all these scans will be counted as a single scan. So when you launch asset discovery scan, just one credit will be removed from your entire from your plan. So this is about asset discovery scans. Then we have site audit, which is a web security scanning tool. So similarly, you just click on new scan button, you enter the URL here, and let's say com and click on submit. It's our job to take that URL and run the scans and show you the results. So we'll just take this demo vulnerable website and see how the report looks like. So here we'll get a, a brief overview of what the vulnerabilities are and how many vulnerabilities are there. And you can scroll down and read more about different vulnerabilities, what endpoints are affected by those vulnerabilities. So if you have different developer, if you are a non-technical person, someone else is developing you these websites, you can actually share this information with these links, so that it becomes very easier for the developer to actually patch these vulnerabilities. So yeah, this is about the site audit scan. And then we have a cloud audit scan. So we are currently focusing on AWS cloud audit. So if your infrastructure is on AWS, we'll take some secret key ID and secret access key of your AWS account. We'll look inside your AWS account for different potential security misconfigurations and show you the result. So it's the same drill again. You click on new scan button and enter the domain name. Now this target URL is just to tag your results. Uh, then you enter access key ID and it's a secret access key, which is provided by AWS. So if you are using an AWS account, you can just follow these steps to get access key ID and secret access key. So once you enter that, you submit it, we'll validate whether you have entered the right access key ID, and we'll launch the scan. Now, if you open the scan results, this is how the scan results will look like. Okay, so let's say we have three critical vulnerabilities, and if I open the first critical vulnerabilities, it says that MFA is not enabled on my account, which is multi-factor authentication. And you get these good reference links where you can go and check what this vulnerability means and how to patch it. So it's in very layman English language. They have AWS has written these guides so that you can go and patch these vulnerabilities yourself.
Absolutely. And Brandon was asking a question like, is this really, how can I as a layman do this? This is what it is,
Yeah.
Brandon. You get every single thing, including the reference links out there for you to do it. Now, all you have to do is just go patch it. That's what this is. And with the next
Yeah.
question coming, why is it only, I mean, AWS? Are you planning to apply any other provider such as DigitalOcean or Azure,
Yes.
etc.?
Yeah, we have GCP, DigitalOcean, and Azure in our roadmap. Yeah, we are working on that.
Perfect.
Okay. Now that we know about all these three types of scans, let's go to compliance check and see what this scan does. So compliance check is a complimentary free scan that you can run, and what you'll get in. So all these results are consolidated and map to different compliance standards. And this way we can say that, okay, let's say your employee data is breached, that means you are not following this particular check in certain compliance. So we are mapping all your results to certain compliance standards and showing you those details. So for example, this status is failed for labeling of information. For policy on use of cryptographic controls, you have a pass status because maybe your website is running on HTTPS, it's completely secure, so this control is passed. So you can click on any control to see more about what this control means. And you can click on failed controls. Let's say the password management system. It says that the control is failed because your employee assets data has been breached. And you can just click on this link to open the scan results and see what exact data was breached. So it will take you back to the asset discovery scan.
Yes. So
Okay,
I
so
just want to add something here. So compliance is always one of the most complicated, aspect of security. And then this is something, the terminology. I don't know, people who actually have dealt with compliance, that the sentences, the clauses, the way it's written, it's like this. You're reading some legal book, right? Only the lawyers can understand. So what, no, and then that is one of the biggest challenge as a CXO or CEO or CTO. People feel that they say, you know what, I don't know how much of the compliance is actually been validated, or we are aligned with or passed, and how much of them is failed. And can I get, let's say, okay, I have 10 compliance requirements. Can you tell me out of 10 how many is passing, how many is failing? They don't have time, and I really respect that they have too many other things to deal with, to even delve into it and read and all these things. So what we're trying to do here is, although if you are interested, you're more than welcome to read compliances and all this thing. But I just want to, the way we're trying to do is, you just look into the status column, see how much is yellow, how much is green, and then the moment you say too much of yellow, that means you're in trouble, and then that means you need help, and then you bring in the right kind of people, probably from your in-house team, to say, okay, can you please read why all of this is not green? Because as per my expectation, everything should be green. So that's how we're trying to put it in front of, let's say, the leadership team, that that should help.
yeah, yeah, that was a very important point. And one more note that I would like to add here is that this does not cover the entire ISO standard, because some of those standards, some of those controls or checks require internal information of a company and a physical person to check those things. So we are covering all those checks which can be interpreted by the data that was breached or gathered by different scan results. So this is about the different scans that we have on GetSecured. Now coming back to dashboard, this is a very good, nice consolidated view of all the scans that you have done so far. So it says that there are total 28 web assets out there for my company, 10 employee assets have been breached. There are 16 potential phishing domains, 22 repositories are there which may have some sensitive information or intellectual property, which is my code in those repositories. Then we categorize different risk levels based on percentage. Then we have a comparative security plot where we look for last 50 scans and plot those scans in a month-wise manner. So since we have only scans done in November, uh, so we are showing it here. Then if we have something in December and January and upcoming months, you will see those scans on this plot. Then we have asset timeline plot where we'll show last 6 scans for the user, and you can hover over each and every bar to see what that bar represents based on these legends. And then we have assets by countries. So uh, this says that, okay, my 14 servers are there in Canada, 13 are from United States. So it's just a overall view of all the scans and all the asset inventory you have is displayed on this dashboard. So that's all about the tool that I wanted to cover. Tavagna, you want to add anything else here?
Yes, so I think the purpose of this timeline and comparative security charts is to see on a month-on-month basis, are you actually improving or are you actually declining in terms of your security performances? So that way you actually can measure that, is your team is actually really working on fixing those patches and vulnerabilities, or is it still having some problems? Yeah, so these are the things that we're still working on it. So we, as we speak, we are really collecting all the feedback we're getting from you guys. We'll be improving. There is some feedback about this replacing this asset by country with a geolocation map. So those are the things obviously in our roadmap, and as and when we'll do it, definitely it will be available to all the users. Who are buying this product. Uh,
Lovely.
yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to say that. And in terms of roadmap, I think there's one more very important feature people were asking, and which will be as soon as possible will provide is export this to a report in the form of doc or CSV or JSON, so that people actually, especially agencies, when they are working, they can take it out and they can use it to create their own report. So those are the things we will be adding as soon as possible, probably in the next build.
Awesome, awesome. And we have a ton of questions that's been coming in about
Right.
this tool. I'm excited to answer all of them. So
Okay.
let's look at all the questions, guys, because this tool is on the surface looks really simple to use, but you saw how powerful this tool can get if you dive right into it. So let me ask the very first question. I'm not gonna miss any question, guys. So let me go scroll up a little bit. The feature set on the SaaS is beyond anything I've seen in cybersecurity compliance. Wow. Thank you so much, Nicholas. Yes, we just told you that this tool deserves its own special place over here at PG because this is like an enterprise grade tool that we first time brought on PG in our 3 years of existence. That's what this is. So we are equally excited about this tool because such kind of tool I've never seen on LTD in any platform ever. So nice features. Thank you, Praveen. Um, does it keep track of when an asset like an email was subject to breach in the past and displays the date it was compromised? So employers can suggest that employees update their passwords. So I kept it on the screen. You can see the question on the
Right.
screen as
So you're,
well.
yeah, I think the question is, when we find a data breach, are we showing that on which date it's been compromised so that we can ask the employers to take actions, right? I think that's what the question is. Yes, I think Nikhil has shown already. Nikhil, if you want to go to the screen and show that if you see a pond data and if you click on that record, it actually shows you the list of data breaches where this email address was found and on which date this has been breached. So that way you actually will know that, okay, you know what, this was breached on these 5 places. And as you can see that, so there's a Adobe has a data breach, and this email was there in the data breach, which essentially means that this person probably was using Adobe, registered with this email, an account in Adobe. And when Adobe got a data breach, unfortunately, this person's data got breached. And look, this is exactly the point I'm trying to make when I say why we build this story. Even if I am a security person, since I'm using so many third-party services, and I don't have control over that, and unfortunately, because of they're not doing their work, for some reason properly, and my data is at stake. And this is exactly what I'm trying to highlight. Now, as a consumer, as an end user, I should know that when there is Adobe or probably, I don't know, Canva or some other data which is happening, is my data is at stake or not? Because there's another theory, is 80% people use same password for all their accounts, which means if I find Adobe, and this is called credential stuffing attack, people do it. I found an email and password in one place. I use the same password, do a brute force in other places also, and see if I can get a success. So we are actually here to identify and immediately try to report you guys, so that as an individual, as an employer, you know that you should change your password as soon as possible. uh, Second part is, if it is not pond here, doesn't mean that it's not pond. Okay. Uh, so what I'm trying to say, Nikhil, if you can close this window, please. So there are a lot of things which is green, as is not pond. What essentially that means is, we haven't found it in all the data sources where we actually kind of looked into, but we found the email addresses. What is essentially that means, if I am an attacker, I can still do a targeted phishing attack to all these email addresses and try to do a phishing attack and steal your passwords. So what the point I'm trying to make, even if it's whether it's pond or not pond, you should immediately go and highlight these employees and tell that, what, your data is already exposed, your email address. You should first change your password, and you should also pay very close attention to kind of emails you're accessing, because there might be a possibility that you might be being a target for a phishing attack.
Wow, insane. Brandon, I hope that answers your question because everything is clearly laid out over there of the emails and etc. So, with the next question, with the PBA reporting, can the outgoing PDFs be branded to match each potential client scan? And after the AD scan has taken place, will a deleted scan still count towards the monthly used? AD meaning asset discovery, I believe. And
PBA is what PBA stands for. It's potential phishing domain or something.
um, can you, Nicholas? I think that's you who asked this. Can you please expand what PBA is? That would be really nice. We're going to come back to your question, but let's go to the next question. We'll answer the second part of your question, which is will a deleted scan still count towards the monthly total used?
So when we have, I don't, as of now, there is no delete scan option, potential breach audit. So as long as we found, if it's an error, there is an error happened for some reason, we don't exhaust the credit. We keep that credit as it is. And when there is an error, the scan is actually for some reason, didn't complete. You have two options. Either you can rescan, reinitiate the same scan, or you can actually start a new scan with a new domain, right? So as long as the scan is in progress, we will still count that this one credit is being used. And once the credit is scan is completed with successful, we will say your credit is exhausted. However, if there is a scan which has an error, we don't exhaust it. We will consider that your credit is still valid.
Awesome, awesome. Moving on to what about the first aspect of the question where potential breach audit reporting, can the outgoing PDFs be branded to match each potential client scan?
Um, we just run it to match each potential
So
client
basically
scan.
adding the client logo and branding it,
Yeah,
the
so
reports.
export option is not there. As I said, as I said, we understood this is a very valuable option where a lot of people were asking in Facebook, and we are hoping, probably in a couple of days or maybe a week time, we will try to restore and put that option onto the
Yes,
platform.
and
Yeah.
also the branded logo that would actually help
Yeah.
these
So
agencies
what we are
sell more.
thinking
Yeah.
that we will not do a PDF, we will give you in a doc format, a document, Word document, so that you can actually edit and put your logo and whatever you want to do. If that makes sense, at least to start with. We will also look into see if it's easy to put a logo, then we can try out. But I think doc would be an easier option for us to immediately make it available for all the users.
Yes, guys, it is coming, so you don't have to worry about that. And this is your feedback that's helping make this happen. Thank you so much, Nicholas, who's asked this question. Um, Praveen Patel asked, can we push our internal policy to check compliance level?
No, we are not doing, as of now, we are only looking at the external aspect. So, as I said, we are looking from a attacker's point of view. As an outsider, how much of your data and the information is exposed, which is a problem for you as a company. We are not doing a policy audit yet. We do have that, and obviously in our plan is we have to. So we will have to work on that. It's not available right now.
Perfect,
Yes.
perfect. Let's move on to the next question. And in site audit, is there plan to add more layman corrective or preventive action to be done? Just
Mm,
like how you added it in the other audits as well. Like I think it was cloud audit where it was added all the security related stuff and explaining stuff here.
okay. Nikhil, do you want to take this question?
Yeah, so for some of the site audit scans, we already have that. For rest of them, we are currently adding few. So yeah, it will be comprehensive.
Really good question. Really good question. Thank you so much for asking that. When you say potential phishing domains, Are those possible future domains that can be bought and abused, or existing registered domains that can be abused today?
Good. That's a very good question. Thank you so much for asking. So, when it's a phishing domain, we say it's a resemblance is there in terms of name. Just to give you an example, let's say uh, Flipkart and Flopkart. There's a resemblance in the name, right? So, and if the domain is available, nobody is stopping you to buy a domain called Flopkart and then probably create a fake Flipkart website there. And a lot of time people don't pay attention to that, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out all possible domain which has some sort of similarity in terms of name, resemblance, sounding like, or replacing O with zero, L with one, so that it looks very similar. And we are saying if this domain is live, when I say live, it's been registered. Either it has a proper, it could be a genuine website, maybe some other company is actually using it, or it could be somebody has bought it and is parked means it's actually nothing is there but the domain is registered. As long as we find a trace that this domain is active in some way, we immediately highlight it. Now it's up to you to figure out of that how many probably is actually and somebody probably is actually looks like parked domain. If it's parked domain, it's suspicious because tomorrow someone can actually put something fake there and put a fake website. So we recommend that you pay attention more to the parked domains there.
Love it, love it. And we also have a question about, do we have a complete VAPT solution? That's the question from Swapnil. Uh,
So I
th-
connected. Nikhil, do
yep.
you know answer this? Yeah. we-
Yeah, so VAPT is a completely different process. It involves like automated tools and manual tools, right? So you need some manual intervention in VAPT. So currently, our site audit scan and the AWS cloud audit scans are on the track of VAPT tools. So those are automated and easy to use. Will generate the reports, which is the ultimate goal of VAPT, which is you generate a report and then uh, work on the mitigations. So that's again in the plan. But yeah, it's not a complete replacement for a VAPT activity because it requires some VAPT also involves some manual testing of targets.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Swapnil, for asking that. And Z says that I scan a couple of websites for the site audit. The outcome is a bit generic, and I'm not able to derive the action needed to fix the patch. So, do you want to reply to that?
Okay, so we also have our support email ID, which is support at getsecured.ai. If you have any doubts, if you you know have any feedbacks or anything, you can also email me on that. So for these particular questions, I need to understand or uh, need to have a specific input about how what the scans are and what the results are, so that I can comment on that. So you can definitely connect back to us using support email, and we'll surely be happy to help you.
Z, that's right. So the team needs to understand what websites are you scanning and what kind of results they're looking at. So it's not possible to tell it over a Facebook Live. So please contact me as well. You can also contact the support as Nikhil said. But if you want, you can contact me as well. I'll be scheduling a one-on-one call with you. Feel free to do that. Awesome. Let me move on to the next question. Those graphical representation on the dashboard are per domain or combined of all?
Okay, so this one is a graphical representation of 50 domains. You can hover over these eye icons and you can see that, okay, this is a representation of last 50 scans. So if I have more scans, I'll be seeing more bar charts here.
All
And this
right.
is
So
the representation of last 6 scans. So this is per domain basis, where this is a consolidated view.
perfect, perfect. So Swapnil, the one on the top, that is a consolidated view, and the one on the bottom, which is says assets timeline, that's where you get the last six scans. And let's move on to the next question. And to put that into context, some of our clients use solar winds and alpine at a crazy price. Yes, there are some tools out there that come at a crazy price, especially security tools, guys. We've just shown you that. And this is a lifetime deal that you're getting, so you don't have to worry about those crazy prices, Nicholas. And Nicholas also says that docx will suffice for now, but as most gatekeepers can still open the report sent, but any security agency audits are normally in pdf due to zero hack or fish issues on opening. Really good suggestion, Nicholas. Yeah. And please shed some light on partial compliance scan.
Okay. So, so if you see, let me take that question, Nikhil. So basically, yeah, as you see, compliance is about the security. Let's say if you talk about ISO 27000 or the SOC 2 compliances, right? They talk about the overall security of your company, right? It says, okay, how secure you and are you following enough standards and good practices in terms of security. Now, a company has both inside and outside, aspect, right? So if you talk about typically, so from a CISO point of view, right? When you work as a CISO, we break a company in three levels: people, process, and technology, right? And each level we have certain controls. So, for example, when you say people, we say, do you have enough trainings, security training are doing on a regular basis, right? Those kind of things. Process-wise, we say, okay, what is your process in terms of onboarding an employee or onboarding a vendor? Technology side, obviously there's an external and internal aspect, that is your internal servers are protected or not, is your external servers are protected or not. So why I'm saying is because what we can do right now is, from a hacker's point of view, from an outsider point of view, we can only see the data which is exposed to the outside world, and that with that data we can only correlate with certain number of clauses in a compliance entire compliance spectrum, right? So, and those are the points we are highlighting here, and that means that there is other set of compliance clauses probably which will only require internal data, which we don't have access to at this point of time. That's what we have. So, however, we are also exploring a possibility of building an agent, which can be deployed internally in a network. Because when you are a company, you wanted to secure both internal and external. So that's again in the roadmap. We have an agent-based, data collection and evaluation,
Love
which
it. Love it. So, moving on to the next question. I hope that answers your question, Swapnil. Moving on to the next question. So, we have a web application security audit, that is WASA. Do we also have mobile application security audit, which is Android and iOS as well?
I would let Nikhil to talk about it.
For sure.
This is, yeah, Nikhil.
Yeah, so for Android and iOS apps, I think there are two components, right? One is the app that's running on your phone, other is the domain which hosts the API layer. So you can still use our web tool with that part, and if your app is hosted on AWS, you still use our tool to scan the AWS part. Now coming back to the app, that's actually the file that's running on your phone. Uh, we don't have any feature right now to scan those files, uh, but yeah, we have some static code analyzers and scanners which are coming up in the tool, which will be used to scan static codes. So you can just upload the code and you'll get some kind of results. So yeah, on that line.
Amazing, amazing question, Swapnil. I'm glad you asked that, because people would be willing to scan the Android and iOS apps as well. So, moving on to the next question. This seems to follow most of the NIST framework core, which is a massive plus when you approach new outreach startups, B2B, B2C clients. Yep. I would let, I personally don't know what NIST really is. So I would let Nikhil or Tamagna answer this one. Yep.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, as I said, compliance also is built on top of NIST and OWASP top 10 for web security. So, at the end of the underlying, things are all same. So, we are trying to, kind of figure out the baseline problems, what are the ground reality and ground reality problem, and obviously mapping it upwards to all the standards. So, yeah, it actually works. with various standards.
Thank you, Nicholas, for pointing that out. You've been active, you've been amazing. I think that's pretty much it, guys. Any more questions you guys have about this tool? Because right now I'm going to be sharing my screen and taking you through the lifetime deal that we have for Get Secured over here, because we have answered almost every single question out there. So this is the lifetime deal for Get Secured, guys, and you can avail 10% off Cyber Monday that's ending really really soon. So just the switchground.com/product/get secured. It's pretty simple. With every single plan you have all access, but all you see is these are the limits. Plan A has a limit of 10 scans per month. Plan B is a limit of 20 scans per month. Plan C, which is unlimited scans per month, which is insane for a tool like this. So as you can see here, the tool looks simple on the from outside, but you go deep into it and you get a lot of data that you can show to your client. You can get those fixed. That's what this is, guys. We have three plans here: either 10 scans, 20 scans, and unlimited scans per month. I also see some feedback coming in for improving the scans numbers. So I would have to discuss it with the team, guys. This is but as of now, these are the scans that are available with the plans. So this is what this is, and this is Get Secured on a lifetime deal. Grab it at 10% off of this. It is. And this is the Get Secured website, guys. I know you guys saw some of the questions here requires to be added in the roadmap, and that's why I would love it if you would just go down, all the way down, and look at their roadmap here. Powered by Feedback, another amazing product which was there on Ground. So you can add your opinion over here. You can just see what
So,
features that are
this,
being over here. That's what this is. So
so
you
this is a
can add
feature
your
request. Feature request. Click on feature request.
sure.
Yeah. So this is where I think anybody has any suggestions, any requests, you can please put it there. And and you can up vote on existing feature as well. So based on that, we can reprioritize our product roadmap, and we'll be happy to take it further.
Guys, it's so easy to upload. I just clicked on it, it's just turned red. So easy to upload, so easy to add all the features over here. Super simple. Just go ahead to feature requests and type in your feature, because you guys have been asking a ton of questions. The team has already noted down, but it would be amazing if you add in here and upvote, because since this will be a community driven roadmap, you guys will have a say in this on what feature will gets worked on first. So that was the lifetime deal of Get Secured. You can find the link above or below this video, and also in the comment section of the video, which I just shared it right now. So mind to share more about the Get Secured company and the team? Love this question.
Yes, yes,
So
sure.
this is
So
by Z. Yeah.
okay, so yeah, I'm Tamagna Basu, the founder. As I said, initially, obviously I do come with a security background. Um, yeah, almost I think 17 years of experience, worked in large enterprises. I'm pretty active in LinkedIn. You can see my LinkedIn profile.
You've explored all sorts from starting. You've been there from the start.
Right,
Really
right.
interesting.
And along with me, Nikhil is there. So Nikhil is also he's an expert in cybersecurity and AI, artificial intelligence. And Nikhil has also a very passionate area of research which he does, which is called adversarial AI. How you can use AI for offensive purposes, AI for security and security for AI. So he has a workshop and training he does on that in various international workshop training. So yeah, we do is along with that we have also a group of bunch of developers and security researchers who are working from various part of the world. So one thing we say we are really proud of this entire company is we actually are kind of work remotely, and thanks to pandemic that become a mainstream. But I'm a strong believer of remote working. In fact, my previous company also I'm running for the 7 years remotely. So we build a culture where integrity and obviously trust is very important. So we have find people who we trust each other, and we build this strong team where we're building it together. So altogether we're around 6 to 7 member core tech team, engineering team. Along with that, we have other team who are helping us with marketing and other non-technical stuff also.
Awesome, awesome. So, thank you so much for asking that question, Z. And there you go. You know about Tamagna Nikhil right now. You can also schedule a call with them. They're more than happy, more than willing to showcase the product to you. That's what this is, and help you secure your website. So get secured with Get Secured. That's what this is. And this was an amazing webinar. Thank you so much, Nikhil. Thank you so much, Samagna, for taking out your time, showing us and answering us every single question that you have, that people had it. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, as I said, feel free to book a slot in our calendar. We'll be happy to answer all your questions.
Feel free to ping me up, guys. I'm happy to connect you with the founder. That's what this is. And thank you so much. Have a great evening and be secured. That's all we can say at the end of this webinar. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Is still growing and evolving, and this requires the enforcement of security measures. What's going on, guys? This is Val from PitchGround. Cybercrime has increased by 600% due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Remote work has dramatically increased the average cost of a data breach. Employees do not have the same level of security at home as they would working in the office, which makes them easy targets for cyber attacks. John Chambers, CEO of Cisco, says there are two types of companies: those who have been hacked and those who don't yet know they have been hacked. Cybercriminals do not just target large enterprise organizations, but small businesses as well. Despite the size of your organization, if you have valuable information, there will be hackers looking to steal it. 43% of cyber attacks target small businesses. PitchGround brings you a lifetime deal for GETSecured, a platform used by companies worldwide to scan their assets for vulnerabilities which might be exploited by attackers to extract sensitive data. GETSecured can be used to monitor web applications, S3 buckets, Git repositories, websites, and many more. If you want to learn more about GETSecured, do check out our use case video and hurry up to get your lifetime deal for GETSecured on pitchground.com. That's pretty much it, guys. Love you all, keep safe, and I see you guys in the next video.